we know them in Counter-Strike. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally moving over into our game. Again, it's going to be Way Too French facing off against A.S.M.R. And A.S.M.R. going to be starting off in the attacking side. So really that ideology that I was talking about for Way Too French, we're really only going to see that in the second half as we start.
Immediate wall from the side of Way Too French. This is already... I feel like we've just been seeing a lot of weird stuff happening this entire time. This seems, you know, not the strangest thing in the world, but wall being dedicated early on over towards C definitely seems like maybe Way Too French were expecting an early push from A.S.M.R. over towards C. But the bomb is already planted, and we find ourselves in a post plant very, very quickly here, Upmind. And A.S.M.R., they actually have a lot of decent things to show off right here. The util is being quickly expended from the side of Way Too French here, and they're actually struggling to get a lot of decent kills off of it. Oh my lord, however, despite it all, Way Too French are actually winning crucial duels, but there's not much time left on the clock for Way Too French to make their move, and if they do even bother with the clock whatsoever, they're going to meet right into Fox's hands, as he's going to be able to pick up a double just by so much time, and he's going to go ahead and buy themselves a round as well. Holy hell, what a play from A.S.M.R. What a play from Fox. That just is absolutely beautiful. It looked like my boy Upmind unfortunately had a bit of an internet issue, so you know, I guess you get to hear me talk a little bit more, but you know, I've done solo commentary before. I've been down this road a couple of times. I guess right off the bat, I just want to say A.S.M.R., it was honestly brilliant from start to finish. I know despite losing 4 players, that might not seem like the cleanest of slates that they were on, and the fact that it came down to a 1 versus 3 in favor of Way Too French right there, but never mind, we'll talk about that one a little bit later. We need to put a pin in that pistol, because we're already into the second where Way Too French are finding some decent success with pistols. Okay, another incredibly quick round, makes it so pace doesn't matter at all when it comes to tactical FPSs. You know, immediate push from Way Too French. I mentioned before the game started that the big thing that I wanted to focus on was potential aggression down towards long C. Still, my co-caster comrade seems to be having a couple of internet issues, because that's just how Florida internet works, apparently. But again, doesn't matter all too much. It looks like we haven't exactly seen anything all too game-breaking. And oh, Upmind, I just heard my lovely producer speaking to my ear. Are you back in action?
Yeah, we back at it. That's the gold of online tournaments, of online events. Hiccups can happen in terms of the interwebs, but I don't think there's really a hiccup in play for Incred, because a direct 2K there without taking a single point of damage. But Foxy's backing at it. Ends up snagging back that frag, and now A.S.M.R. again. I mean, you could probably describe this one up for me, because I totally missed the first 2 rounds. A.S.M.R. up 2-0.
Yeah, A.S.M.R., despite the early antics of Way Too French, who are pushing down towards long C, and actually got 3 kills on those pistols, and holy, it's already over. Mate, it's already over. Way Too French have found their first round. Screw everything I was saying about A.S.M.R. getting off to a very nice start, or was about to say about A.S.M.R. getting off to a very nice start. Because, as we mentioned previously, and we have learned the hard way through those first 2 rounds, it doesn't matter how much tactical depth there is when they can just click on heads a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, trying to get back into really that form that they pulled off in that last map that we saw them play. But I wanted to ask you, though, what actually was the buy for Way Too French going into the second round? Was it really just eco? Or
it was just default pistols. We're talking classics here. Not really much of anything, but they just had all 5 players barrel down the C long area, and they found some decent success. There's a camera going out that was quickly caught off guard by seeing 5 players in its, in its sights. But at the end, those classics really struggle to do anything against Spectres and all the fancy rifles that A.S.M.R. had in play. A bit more of a competitive edge, however. See, guns are brought up again from A.S.M.R. They're not finding exactly the results that they would have hoped, however. Harmful is the only one to find a kill so far this entire round, despite getting the bomb down. And Fox, he's going to go ahead and try to pull off another miracle like he did on the pistol. But this time, there's so much time on the clock, where Upmind, there's basically not a chance whatsoever.
Nah, no chance to that round. Way Too French sweeping it up over to mid, and again, A.S.M.R. putting on a little bit too much Pressure towards that mid area. We're way too French. They've proven themselves, you know, pretty, I guess you could say pretty patient. But again, changing up the tempo in a sense. Rushing out over to mid, still getting themselves those safe crossfires. Still able to find avenues for them to run away with. So, again, way too French. They have the right idea at this point. Let's see how they can actually execute in terms of a round like this, where now A.S.M.R, they're going to turn on the Jets. It's a classic deco buy, but instead this time we're in Valorant. We're talking about Sheriffs. They're trying to make their way over to long. That's Mile going down to 46.
This is a little bit promising from A.S.M.R. They managed to wiggle themselves into a pretty comfortable position, and wow, I'm not sure what the issue was maybe with comms there, but way too French. They look completely off guard by A.S.M.R, practically just bursting their way onto the site with little problems whatsoever being found. The bomb is the spike, excuse me, is planted. And into a 2-on-2 we go. A.S.M.R on the back foot of it, obviously, just starting with those pistols and also knocked down a peg. But, I mean, quite honestly, turn up. He could possibly win this, just based off of maybe sheer will alone. Also has that Vandal in hand, which might make things a little bit easier. There's that double commit that you're talking about. And from there, simple as being able to get the refrag.
Absolutely, and I mean that's really way too French's approach to kind of some of these post plants. Just trying to approach as a team, just trying to get those refrags, and they pull it off again. That's good, clean, tactical FPS play as we know and love. Now way too French. They find themselves in the driver's seat a little bit as they've actually forced A.S.M.R backed up against the ropes in terms of economy. If I'm not mistaken, loss bonus, full loss bonus should be coming into play either this round or coming up soon. Not talking about this buy. You have pretty much even throughout the two teams. You do have an operator on Harmful trying to go over to long, but I'm interested to see where that other op is at. Might be over to long, or might even be over to mid, because we saw some unorthodox op plays just a couple of games over to mid. But a Hunter's Fury for Hunter's Fury, an eye for an eye here, etoh, as it's actually pretty effective here for Nano. He gets a lot of damage on two players over towards the back lines, but it's not a kill, however. But there he is. There's Mile rotating over towards that C site, has the operator in hand, and has one of the best characters for it. That's the Jet flying over towards the actual site box.
Way too French have one of the most unique approaches to their defense I think I've seen on Haven so far. Again, as soon as contact is made over towards C long, the wall is expended, and you know, they just give up that fight entirely. Completely content taking fights elsewhere. They've done a decent job at staying alive, but now there's no more time that they can exactly peel off. A.S.M.R, they're pushing in, they're fighting now, and getting down to brass tacks. With 30 seconds left on the clock, eventually, some of those things that they've been working so hard for, way too French, are starting to fail. Nano has been one of the unfortunate victims of the system so far, will be the first one to go down. Mile gets a trade through, and despite the res coming through as well, Turnip Too Easy doesn't give a damn about the stage whatsoever, doesn't give a damn about the res whatsoever. Mile will still close the distance, however, and he will eventually fall. Mile on for a 3K so far this round, and another incredibly blisteringly quick retake in from way too French. As Mile will collect the quad kill. I mean, Christ, I mean, I'll just be honest, way too French. They just seemed like they had that one in the back from start to finish. They had so many set protocols for every step of that round.
Yeah, they won most of their 1v1 gun duels, period. A.S.M.R not exactly being able to trade out most of them. I mean, just good movement from way too French, playing their angles. And especially now near the end, you saw that last interaction. You throw down a jet smoke and really just play around that. Again, good molly from Joseph near the very end. I was impressed with the placement, but again, he gets wide swung on and he's not able to take advantage of that position by any means. Now, going on to yet another fresh round. Like I mentioned before, A.S.M.R, their economy is pretty much maxed. They can buy whatever they want.
Because of that fact alone, I'm surprised we aren't seeing a little more operator action. At least early on in this game, I feel like we haven't seen that much operator action, but maybe that'll be changing up eventually. Right now, it seems that the rifles are basically all that anyone's paying attention to, and for good reason. They're finding fantastic results. The bread and butter of CS players and Valorant players alike. Incred will find first blood. A huge kill at that. That's a Sage down. No res going to be available for A.S.M.R. as already they're in a pretty dire state of affairs, and I mean, we're not even past the minute mark yet.
And again, like you mentioned, A.S.M.R. incredibly passive, but this time they're going to force up over to long. They do have presence over from short. They're going to have to clear out all of these angles because that was mainly their issue before. Incred, that's a huge near sight. Harmful. He does have the ult. Oh, huge quick dash. Taking down Incred on site, but in comes the return from Nano. Oh no, the rotation, but you still have a player over in the back lines, over to short. Again, Spike still hasn't gone down. There goes the ult. The neural threat again for that Cypher. Fox still in the back lines, takes down Mile. Both players are going to be approaching from short. Fox going absolutely huge. That's his third on the round. Turnup still trying to help out. Yuz with a big frag.
Oh my god, the heal.
Turnup. Still an opportunity. The heal almost compensates for Yuz at the very end, but it's really the bullets that ends up winning the battle for Turnup. A.S.M.R. a hard-fought third round there. Again, the setup wasn't exactly optimal for them, but they still made it work.
Well, this is definitely proving to be a banger so far. A.S.M.R. incredible solo efforts. I mean, Fox and in that last round, Turnup too easy, both showed up massively. Turnup, I mean, he, like, I'm going to make the obvious pun here. I'll get out of the way. He turned up. I mean, fantastic round. It was incredibly difficult for A.S.M.R. to actually hold their footing, too, considering that Way Too French are just kind of one of those teams that can bog you down at literally any point of the round. I mean, that's kind of the thing about how Way Too French play. They constantly go for these early duels. Case in point right there. Incred, first blood of the round, but far from the last, as Emilio will soon join him in the grave. Way Too French, this aggression has been the name of the game so far, and because of that alone, it can be so suffocating to play against. A.S.M.R., they're doing a fantastic job adjusting to it, however, and they're taking fights at their own volition, at their own style, and at their own pace. To a very problematic degree at some points. 1-on-3, 2 of those sheriffs are able to find kills, but I think that's about it for Way Too French in this round here. Mile, well, he does have full armor as well as a Vandal in hand. I think even being able to find weak here is just going to be a bit of a stretch. And yeah, you would need to stretch your imagination to actually be able to get away with that 1 versus 3.
Oh man, Way Too French. Again, the round right after, they're not exactly going to be remiss in terms of wallet density by any means. They still have the cash to work with 2 rounds in a row. An operator in the hands of Mile, something that I've been anticipating since you know, the play that we saw over on to C, but hasn't exactly been able to execute either. A.S.M.R., they've kind of realized that really most of these rounds that they're winning out, most of these battles that they're winning out, it's in closed, cramped positions, it's in these choke points that they could potentially weed away Way Too French into actually approaching early on, but that's going to be multiple bullets going for just 1 recon run, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be Yuz being taken down over towards the corner. Huge wall bang from Nano, but no damage being done from it.
Have
and
the right
A.S.M.R.
idea.
A really good idea, but A.S.M.R., I like this from them. They have the advantage over towards Garage, but immediately after, they just run on away. They stay disciplined, and not only that, but they get the revive. Oh, Harmful had a huge opportunity to make more noise over towards C, but instead it's going to be an all-out war towards A. It's going to be a 4-on-4. Spike finally going down for Turnip. He's almost fully blind. In comes the Hunter's Fury. He's trying to run on away. He's trying to juke on in, and he's going to end up going down. Spike is down 45 seconds. Still 2 players towards main. 3 players towards main, actually. It's just weak around the corner holding things down. Spike can finally go down safely. And again, pure chaos there for Way Too French, as they were almost able to sneak away a frag or 2 there. But now Mile, oh boy, this is huge. He has the quick dash to work with. He might just quick dash into his own smoke. Instead, Nano helping out. Still a 1-on-2. There's Mile. Like I said, quick dashing on site and updrafting down, but still gonna miss out on the open shot onto Joseph. That's gonna be a 5th round for A.S.M.R. Way Too French stuck in the back lines, but Again, a missed opportunity at the end for Mile. That was his clipped moment.
I'm envisioning all the scenarios in which he hit that no scope. It was a very tough 1-on-2. Even if he did get that shot, the refrag was almost a certainty at that point. But, you know, on the other side of the coin, you can also think that's a very, very good kill for Joseph to get towards the end. You know, a couple of confidence frags towards the end of that round. He hasn't exactly been having the most mind-blowing of performances early on in this best of one. And so being able to come alive definitely does show a little bit of confidence, a little bit of prowess, and perhaps could lead to some good things in the future. As we go ahead and turn our sights to this next round, however, you see that A.S.M.R are quickly stacking up over towards Garage. The response from Way Too French is to send out some of their pistol players out towards mid, but keep in mind that Fox is not going to be one of those many players present in Garage. He'll actually be waiting on the other side of it completely. Is going to be able to find a free kill and really just go ahead and make this a very clean excursion onto the C-bomb site. I don't understand. Harmful just ruined them. Unreal.
Jeez.
A.S.M.R, that's a very confident round number 6. Holy hell.
Well, as the screen says, that's a flawless round, my friend. Way Too French. Once again, they find themselves on the back foot of yet another strong A.S.M.R take, and again, it's just angle after angle, frag by frag for the squad. And I was even mentioning earlier how Way Too French, they seem to be the ones with the most fragging power on the server, but A.S.M.R, they are firmly proving me wrong with the past couple of rounds. But again,
Foxes in particular.
Fox absolutely. Literally holding down W on some of these sites and making it look easy, but oh, here we go again. Mile on the front lines, over to Garage, trying to get that early peek. Almost gets a collateral out of it. Still gets himself one frag, looking for another one. That's incredible. The rush. No, it's an absolute... Oh, man, it's an absolute battle over towards mid. You still have a player around the corner. Turnip still looking for this last frag. That's incred. Down on HP and getting swept up by Turnip. First 15 seconds of this round. Again, pure chaos. But in the end, A.S.M.R, they end up winning out that interaction. And now all three players rotating over towards A. You still have a player getting a lot of info over towards mid, calling out that rotation over to A. But really, it's not going to matter at all as the rotation, the full attacker rotation comes out over towards this site. Turn up with a frag. Nano returns it.
Wait.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yuz, he was flanking from mid, and now he's flanking over towards long. This is beautiful. This could shut things down, but Turnip still on a huge grind. Has himself a fourth frag. Gonna catch one. There you go, Yuz, waiting for that spike to go down, waiting for that audio cue. And Yuz clutches it out. Ace denied, and Way Too French off of heroics at the very end. Able to win the round, 5-6.
Oh. Turnip is just probably like, he's just thinking to himself, what more can I do? He got 4 kills in that round, and the rest of his team couldn't combine to even find a single one. It has to hurt. Wonderfully played by Yuz, excuse me. I mean, quite honestly, that is exactly how you want to play it. Basically stuck in no man's land with his comrade, and that was pretty much the only chance of winning the round there was. And he found that lifeline. He found that thread to pull on. And my lord, he pulled on it hard. He's going to be able to make a whole shirt out of it, quite practically. 5-6, A.S.M.R will at least get to that point where they can tie the half, but obviously looking to take the lead. They're off to a pretty fine start. They're going to be investing that Hunter's Fury in, at least forcing out the heal. No, they're going to be even getting more. Yuz is down. The hero of that last round will be given a lot of flack, perhaps, by the player that he clutched it up against. Here's the shock darts in. Revenge at last for A.S.M.R. That's Way Too French. I mean, they're just looking to stay alive at this point.
Again, interesting post point for A.S.M.R. They're heavily banking on that outside presence. Smokes finally go down, but they're going to have to swing. They're going to have to try to get frags out of it to make this worth it. But that's going to be the orbital strike going huge. Weak. Almost replicating the Sage's opportunity over from the last round, but what? Joseph ends up taking down his own teammate in terms of orbital strike. Interesting from Weak, but that's still going to be the round. Yeah, again, pure chaos, but A.S.M.R still wins it.
You know, even though the scoreboard has an unfortunate bug where, again, you can
Wait,
only
I'm
see
sorry.
the top person.
Yeah. Right.
I still feel like this shows at least a decent amount of what this game has been so far. Maybe, you know, Nano isn't the exact summary of what I feel Way Too French have been like as a team. I feel in a lot of the rounds that they have won, the 5 that they have to their name has been team pushes, you know, and trying to go for those solo efforts. Everybody's kind of been getting their just desserts. But for A.S.M.R, it has been Fox. You know, I mean, chat, they're going to be going full leaf on him and calling him a Cheeto, but you know what? How can you even blame him? This man is just having such an incredible game. Into the second pistol we go! Okay, Purple's a cheater! Purple's a cheater, boys! Purple's a cheater! I understand now! I understand why Sean Garrett wants to get rid of this gun! Oh my god, it's so good!
It's not the shorty anymore, it's the shoddy, my friend, because, oh my lord! What?
God,
collateral using the shit?
Yeah! This game is so dumb, dude! I can't believe it.
Oh
Way Too
boy.
French have to be pissed.
Nah, they have to be. That shorty too OP, man. But Way Too French, they still have the regular pistols in their hands to actually work with. Yeah, Melly on the front lines. He just goes down to Joseph. Spike down to Weak, executes at the very end with the frag. But the real highlight of that round is the shoddy play over to Garage. A.S.M.R. They win quite the unorthodox round.
Unorthodox indeed. You don't often see a shorty like able to go off like that. You know, I mean, the shorty, it kind of feels like one of those feast or famine guns. Either you do, you know, 10 damage at close range, or you manage to get a collateral over towards Garage. And I'll be honest, that isn't even the first time I've seen a collateral with a shorty in that exact same position. That just goes to show you that the shorty really is, you know, just such a crazy gun. It's shouty. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I did. The shouty. I'm so sorry. I apologize, chat. I have just learned from
we have production in our ear. They're yelling at us. It's a whole mess back here, man. I mean, we're getting the pronunciation wrong, and we do apologize. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we do get into our round, and well, Way Too French. They're making this look real short because they actually make like a 10-second take. They clamp down on sight, and now they actually have a huge opportunity. Harmful still over to Long, getting himself a little bit of info, but again, still stuck. It's still 2 players behind a wall, actually, over towards main. Way Too French could make this work. You still have Harmful with a frag. Nano has to get this before the rotation in, and he actually does get it, but it's still going to be a 1-on-2 towards sight, and Mile executes with the classic onto Joseph. Way Too French with a Uno reverse card on the round. 6-8 score line. They restrict the bleeding here, Kieran.
They actually have a really decent chance to even things up just based off of that fact alone. I mean, obviously we can only get a bit of a sampler of what the buy will be looking like, but you know, on the side of A.S.M.R, maybe they'll have a couple of shotties. There you have it. The shotties coming out. And while I don't think Garage is probably going to be taken early on because of that, I actually think Way Too French. I mean, this isn't such a free round for them. If they even bother going towards Garage, obviously they might be running into another lovely shoddy play, but I mean, I feel like Haven is one of those places where you can make pistols work a little bit better. It's kind of rewarded if you want to try stacking towards, you know, Long C or something of the sort, and although A.S.M.R have taken a bit more of a default approach to it, they've kind of spread their players all the way across the map. I don't think this is actually impossible for A.S.M.R to win. Their traits have been pretty significant so far, and they might be able to steal this one away, but
no, come on!
The shoddy. The shoddy.
The shoddy, my friend.
Shoddy.
How you doing, shoddy? It's all good here. A.S.M.R, well, I don't think you could really consider the shorty really A.S.M.R material, but it's sweet sounds of frags for some of these A.S.M.R players. Really just Fox.
Yeah, never mind what I was saying about A.S.M.R. Never mind what I was saying about about A.S.M.R being able to win this round. Turn up too easy.
Never mind.
That's a shot.
Never mind what we were saying about pistols, period, because now turn up, he has himself the sheriff, but he still does take a little bit of fall damage. But yeah, I mean, that round was already a done and dusted by the very beginning, anyways, just based off the bye. A.S.M.R. making their way back. They do have a bye coming up in this next round. And Way Too French just trying to hold on strong and just trying to really tie things up because, again, A.S.M.R., they have found themselves on the advantage really this entire map, but Way Too French, they could reset A.S.M.R. and regain the lead off of this round alone.
Yeah, this is huge. Way Too French, you know, it's another one of those, I guess momentum rounds is one way to put it. It really kind of decides who's going to have a pretty huge lead heading into the latter part of this game. A.S.M.R. still barely clinging on to that lead. Might just get completely stolen away from them. And A.S.M.R., they realize the potential dire situation that they're in, and Harmful will go for desperate measures to try to make the most out of it that he can. A quick shot with the op will put them off to a 5 versus 4 start, but the response from Way Too French is just kind of take their losses. That was a single ultimate that they had, that Omen ultimate, and now no longer in the picture. That means that they can't really pull off a crazy fake, maybe in the same way that they would want to, but they can't also make it like an info play happen with that ult either. Their options are a little bit more limited simply by the fact that they lost that player. I know, potentially an obvious statement. Obviously, a 5 versus 4 kind of sucks, and you're going to be on the back foot because of that alone. But also the Omen ult, which in a lot of cases is just kind of used to find information, that's no longer going to be a factor.
Not so much, but still just a matter of fact that this round has been going so slow, has gone towards the side of Way Too French. It's in their favor now that, really, this slow pace is... Wait, what? Where did Turnip even come from? Did he just break through the wall and get himself a... What? What? What?
Okay.
Our cameras weren't on him either. He just got himself the easiest 4K of his life. I was about to say that this slow pace... I think so. He was the one that threw out the recon bolt a little bit earlier, but again, I was about to say that really the slow pace for Way Too French helped them out in actually weeding out some of these sites, but instead, this guy just doesn't care. He just gets himself the easiest 4K that we've seen today. Everyone walking into his crosshair, and he just holds on W, and now he has a Hunter's Fury. He's gonna be able to find 2 in his crosshairs, still looking for more over to main. Everyone running away. Able to get a little bit of damage, but now multiple players over to long. Turnip looking for yet another successful round. Trying to swing out, but the cage is up. Jeez, the momentum for A.S.M.R. now.
Way Too French, you even see, as I mentioned previously, they use that ultimate from the Omen to go ahead and try to work their way in towards heaven. Got quickly faded out. Jet down to crucial HP is going to require a heal soon, so I can probably see them going in first. With pistols only to work with Way Too French, again, their options are extremely limited. They'll be trying to close the distance over towards C this time around, but Harmful will actually win the fight with a classic. The Deegs are doing absolutely nothing. Joseph actually gets a spray transfer off onto 2 people. Sure, they're up against pistols, but he makes it look like light work.
Work again, and I mean, Way Too French didn't have much to work with at the beginning of the round anyways, but you still have Turnip fragging once again. It's still yet an opportunity over to mid, but that's gonna be Yuz with the Vandal. Good Slorb, that's gonna stop the peaks coming out. The Slorb. Slorb's OBS. Stopping things over towards Garage, and you still have Joseph and yet another teammate holding back towards site, but again, he's just going to save this Vandal, or really just trying to survive as long as he can. 2 exit frags for him. At least a little bit of an equalizer towards Way Too French. A.S.M.R. with a big W under their belt. Again, Way Too French have a difficult economic decision to make in this round. Again, it's not going to be the end of the world. If they do lose out this one, their economy is going to be at around $3,000, if I'm not mistaken. Even then, only going to be able to eco, but at that point, it will just lead to the 12-7. Still able to keep up with match point. Big upset if this ends up happening here, etoh.
I'm incredibly concerned for what this means, but probably, again, another one of the more important rounds to keep your eye on here. A.S.M.R., they're investing an op into this. Trying to make all the fancy pieces put together and trying to find number 11 successfully breaking that eco of way too French and maybe going well on their way to finding their second upset of the day. Because these are, again, some players on the side of A.S.M.R that I didn't exactly know all too well, but they are definitely proving that they know what is up. Way too French. I'm not going to say they've looked lost. I don't really feel like lost is quite the right word. It's just that A.S.M.R just looks so prepared. They have all these protocols at the ready. This is what I'm talking about, how way too French, they're able to respond quickly, but the protocols are just there from A.S.M.R. The immediate collapse from the defense is, I've said this before, I'll say it again, suffocating. It quite honestly in. The bullet just straight into Melio's dome through the wall as well. It's formulaic, man.
Formulaic, you're absolutely right. It just seems like we're going through the same really sequence every single time. And I mean, we're mentioning we don't really know many of these players on the server, but I'm sure the public does. I mean, a lot of these players, they're playing in, you know, the PAX Arena coming in just a week or two. Harmful, Turnip, Joseph, both gonna be representing the Gaming Owl and his influencer team. And you still have another player representing Echo 8. So, I mean, huge future for this team in A.S.M.R. Although they're not participating with the A.S.M.R name, this is really just a dream squad between the few. This is a big step if they can end up getting this W, and really this next round is a little bit tougher, however. Good frag very early on, but they still get the return. You saw earlier, Mile ended up using up that ulti. He tried to get over that huge wall, covering up long, just trying to get that cheese up onto the operator player over towards A long. Wasn't able to get the frag anyways, but now the pace is just slowed down. 50 seconds left, and way too French still reconning out the rest of this map.
Bomb is making its way over towards A short. Looks like that's going to be their final destination. We say seem prime on the idea of it. As for who goes in first, though, that's a different question entirely. This A setup is pretty strong. There's cyber cages at the ready where he can just remotely do that from CT spawn. There it is. There's that cyber cage through. Makes a ton of noise. While the spike might be a certainty to go down at this point, from there on out, things are going to become immensely difficult. Turnip will show exactly why as he finds that first kill on Melio. Spike is inevitably planted. And into the 5 versus 4. Well, never mind. That's not even going to be a 5 versus 4 anymore. It's a 3 versus 2. It's a 3 versus 1, and it's over. Holy hell, A.S.M.R. I feel like I'm a broken record at this point here, but again, that word just keeps coming to mind. Suffocating. It's so hard to play against this sort of thing. A.S.M.R, they move at just a cheetah's pace, man.
I mean, you dropped the word earlier that seems to define this entire game. Formulaic. Again, all these rounds going in more or less the same flow. You get an early frag back and forth, either towards long, really any choke point. It's just an early trade, and then in comes the heroic way too French take. They get restricted down before they end up making it towards site. Sometimes they'll get the spike down, sometimes they won't, and A.S.M.R ends up winning in the end anyways. That's been really the theme of the past 5 rounds, and A.S.M.R not looking to stop anytime soon. It's match point, ladies and gentlemen. Way too French would have to win 5 in a row to take this into the new and renewed overtime. But let's see if they can actually pull it off. Way too French. Most of their players laying around that mid area. It's going to be a 2-person presence over towards B. Mile barely getting that angle onto Turnip, but still finds it anyways. Harmful towards the back, trying to make his way in. Oh, almost a huge flick, but that's still going to be Yuz catching the frag onto Weak. Oh, baby. This is a big round for Way too French. They finally stack up the frags, and now it's going to be Joseph in a 1-on-5, and he ends up getting taken down by Incred. 4 players surviving for Way too French. That breaks the formula that we were talking about, etoh.
Yeah, it looks like we found a proof of concept that Way too French actually still do have some sort of presence in this game. It took a while to actually get it going, but it seems that really, at the end of the day, all they have to do is go back to one of their more default plays where they, you know, they can't be afraid of Turnip possibly being on top of the box and getting another quad kill. That standard B exec is something that you see all the time on Haven, and Sure, the game is still in its early stages, but it's one of those bread and butter plays, and, well, I mean, at this point, it feels like Way Too French have just about perfected it. They get a near perfect round, a near flawless round in A.S.M.R. They'll be staving off the inevitable for a round longer. Still, though, things are looking incredible for A.S.M.R, and, well, that will just go ahead and really be, I wouldn't say a nail in the coffin, but a cherry on top. You know, we gotta go ahead and switch up the phrases a little bit, because it's not quite over yet, but A.S.M.R, they're off to a pretty fantastic start once more. Finding one with the op early on. There's 3 ultimates in play for A.S.M.R as well. Another thing to note, even if they lose a player here, that res is still available. So many keys to victory.
Ooh. All right, I like that reaction. Hearing the recon dart. They were already ready for it, and, ooh, okay. Going for the Hail Mary with the wall! Trying to recover. Joseph, who was right behind it, or I'm sorry, Yuz, who was right behind it, but it ends up getting taken down immediately. But even then, Way Too French still winning out that trade. 2 players go down over towards that C side, and it's going to be a wide rotation. Remember, Weak still has that ultimate, and he ends up using it. Joseph is up. It's a 4-on-4. The take is over to A.
And both reses expended. That was such an interesting duel over towards long, and honestly something you could talk about for a while, how Way Too French managed to deal with that. That's one of those things that comes with chemistry, comes with time. But no, it doesn't matter! I don't care about how many protocols you have! The game is done! A.S.M.R, again, screw everything I'm saying about fundamentals, screw everything I'm saying about all this tactical prowess. You just gotta click on the heads, baby! You're done!